Welcome, geometry students, to the homework help video, page 155, 9 through 27 all. I hope you've done your homework, checked your answers, at least the odds, in the back of the book, and the evens you can check on this video. If you're just watching the video and doing your homework, I hope that you're not copying the answers down, okay? That would not be what this video is for. Let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully this video will be a help to you. Let me get this slid over here, and here we go. Let's start off with numbers 9 through 27. Go ahead and open your books to page 155. Get your homework out, calculators, notebook, all the things that you need, and let's go ahead and get started. For questions numbers 9 through 14, the directions state, decide whether the red figure is a translation of the blue figure. Now remember, when we say translation, let's say we have that's not right. Let's see here. Fix that. If you had like a, I don't know, a rectangle like this, and you were sliding it around, if you slid it down and over and back up and over and up, all of that is fine. That's a translation. But where you get in trouble is when you start doing stuff like this. When you start rotating it, flipping it like this, flipping it around, all kinds of stuff like that. And that's what you got to be careful of. So if you'll look, you're seeing if the red figure is a translation of the blue figure. Now, if you would have taken this letter F and moved it this way, then this way, then this way, and then this way, and it was up here facing the same direction, that's fine. But as soon as this thing turns, see how it turned? This F, let me highlight it here, rotated, and now it's facing downward. Do you see that right here? Look. It's facing downwards. So no, this is not an example of a translation. That is not, the answer is no. A translation is when you have horizontal or vertical movement. Number 10, well yes, I mean look, the F is still facing the same way. It wasn't flipped, it wasn't twisted or turned. It simply went, the blue simply went over and then it went up. So it had a horizontal shift and then a vertical shift. And that's it. So yes, that is an example of a translation. Now you see this is not, because what they did is they took the letter F. I'm going to take my pen real quick here and trace it for you, if at all possible for me to do with my horrendous drawing skills. There we go. And now let's grab this real quick and pull it out of the way. And now let's grab this. Look at all this fancy stuff. Y'all didn't know I could do that, did you? All right, there we go. Now, what they did is they took this F, the blue F, and they didn't shift it up or down. They took it and turned it like that. And that's how they got the F, the red F. And that's not a translation at all. The only thing you can do to the blue F is move it up or down, left or right. And if you do that, you have a translation. But this is not a translation. All right, number 12. Hey, this looks great. It's facing the same way. It hasn't been flipped, twisted, or turned. The blue object went up, and then it went to the right. And that's called a translation. It was, to use a word the book used, it was slid. They slid it around. All right, number 13. Now, be careful, guys. It is not facing the same way. Look. What they did is they took this blue figure, like that, and they didn't move it up or down or left or right. They took this figure and they flipped it like that. And that's how they got the red figure. That is not a translation. You have to take the blue figure and move it either up and down or left and right. Number 14, once again, no, here's the blue figure. Now if they would have taken this figure right here, the blue figure, and if they would have moved it here and here and here, up and down like that, that's totally fine. But they did not. They flipped it. So no, 14 is not an example of a translation. Okay, moving on in your homework. Now we're looking at numbers 15 through 18. 15 through 18. Now, the directions say, match the description of the translation with its diagram. So, in this book, if I remember reading correctly, red is, don't miss this, red is always assumed to be the new image after it was shifted. All right, so let's take a look at this letter A. Now, I know the answers are right up here. I'm just going to cross them off, just pretend the answers aren't there. Okay, we're not into copying answers, we're into learning. Now you see this vertex of the triangle and see this one here? Well, let's see what happened. Starting here, you went down 2 units. 1, 2. Do you see that? You don't count where you start. You go 1, 2. So you went down. Do any of these say down 2? Oh, these two. So it's either going to be 16 or 18. And then we went to the right. Now you don't start. You don't count where you start. So you take your pen, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we went down 2 and to the right 6. And here it is, right here. Right here. 6 units to the right and down 2. So there we go. So 16 would be letter A. All right, let's take a look at this one here. Now, here's the blue one. And we first, let's compare this vertex here with this vertex here. So we went to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we went to the left 7, and we went up 1. To the left 7, up 1. Here it is, right here, right there. 7 units left and 1 unit up. Booyah, doing good. Now let's compare this vertex with this vertex. So we went over 1, 2, 3, 4, over 4, so 4 to the right, and then up 1, 2, 3. So 4 to the right and 3 units up. This one right here, number 15, 4 units to the right and 3 units up. So obviously D has to be 18. I'll count it real quick for you. We'll compare that vertex to that vertex. We went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1, 2. So 5 to the right and 2 units down. There it is. Numbers 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now, the directions for 19, 20, and 21 say, describe the translation using words. Sure, piece of cake, no problem. So there we go. We're going to compare that vertex with that vertex. So we would say, right 2 units, right? We started here and we went 1, 2, and then up. Remember, you don't count where you start. So we started here, you don't count, you go 1, 2, and then when you go up, you don't count where you start. It's 1, 2, 3. So up 3 units. There we go. Let's take a look at number 20. All right, it doesn't really matter which vertex you compare. I'm just going to compare this one here with this one here. Okay, first of all, we went to the right 1 unit. So there, I went from here to here is 1. So right 1 unit. And then I went down, starting here, I went down 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 4 units. Cool. Number 21. Let's compare this vertex here with this vertex here. All right, we went to the left. We start here. Didn't mean to do that. We went to the left. 1, 2. So left 2 units. And then we went up 1, 2, 3. Up 3 units. So left 2, up 3. Now for numbers 22, 23, they want us to describe the translation using coordinate notations. Coordinate notations, which is no big deal. Piece of cake. We're going to compare this point here, this vertex there, to this vertex here. And let's go ahead, and what you do is you write a big ordered pair. And let's go ahead and compare our horizontal movement first. So from here to this point here, I go to the right 1, 2. So that would be x plus 2. Because students, please don't forget, your x-axis is always dealing to your horizontal movement. Your y-axis is always dealing with your vertical movement. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I say we went to the right, well, Mr. Earhart, you went to the left. You started down here with the red one. No. Remember, in this textbook, they said they're going to assume that the red is always the ending image and blue was the starting image. Okay, so you start with blue and move to the red. So, and that's easy to remember. At a red light, you stop. I hope you guys know that, especially if you're driving. So at a red light, you stop. So remember, the red figure is where you stop, okay? So blue is where you start, red is where you stop. So we start here, and we went 2 to the right, so that's positive 2. Then from here, we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be y minus 4, not plus 4. We went down 4. Why do I put the x here? I'm going to tell you why. Thanks for asking. It's like taking this ordered pair here, whatever that ordered pair is. I guess that ordered pair would be 3, 3. This ordered pair right here that I'm highlighting in red right now, this ordered pair right here is 3, 3. So if you take 3 and add 2, you would get 5. And if you take 3 and subtract 4, you get negative 1. And guess what? That's what that ordered pair is right there. It's 5, negative 1. Now, all of that I just said is free of charge, okay? You don't have to understand what I just said, but I'm explaining to you why you're putting plus 2 and minus 4, okay? Let's take a look at one more of these, number 23. Okay, you start with the blue and you move to the red. Now, again, students, it doesn't matter which vertex you choose as long as you're consistent with comparing corresponding vertices with vertices. So this point here should be compared to this one over here. So let's first of all go horizontally. So from here, going left, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went 4 to the left. That would be x minus 4. Not plus 4. I went to the left. That's minus 4. And then from this point here to this point here, I went up 1. Up 1. So that would be y plus 1. Now, it would have been minus 1 if I would have went down 1, but I went up 1, so y plus 1. There we go. And now, find the image of the point using the translation x plus 4, y minus 3. So this is really pretty simple, guys. I mean, they give you this ordered pair for number 24, 2, 5. And then what do they look right here? They want you to take x plus 4, so that means I add 4 to the x. And then it says right here, y minus 3, so I subtract 3 from 5. So my translated ordered pair would be 6, 2, because 2 plus 4 is 6, and 5 minus 3 is 2. That's all they want you to do. So now let's, for number 25, let's take our ordered pair, negative 3, 7, and they want us to do the same thing. X plus 4, so I add 4, y minus 3, so I subtract 3, and my translated ordered pair would be 1, 4, because negative 3 plus 4 is 1, and 7 minus 3 is 4. Okay, let's take this ordered pair, negative 1, negative 4, and let's translate it positive 4 and negative 3. So we're going to add 4 to the x and negative 3 to the y. Well, you would get 3, negative 7, because negative 1 plus 4 is 3, and negative 4 and negative 3 is negative 7. And now for number 27, let's take this ordered pair, 4, negative 6, and let's translate the x, positive 4, and the y, and negative 3. So we're going to add 4 to the x and a negative 3 to the y, and our translated ordered pair would be 8, negative 9. 4 plus 4 is 8, and negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. Now, students, I picked an easy lesson on Wednesdays. You know that. That's it for the day. This has been a homework help video. Hope this has been a help to you. And call or email if you have questions.